What a weekend it was then in the Bundesliga, and as we all predicted, Hoffenheim then at top of the table, 2 wins out of 2 as we welcome in Steve Cherundolo and Archie Rhind-Tutt to the show. Archie, let's talk about, shall we, Hoffenheim's demolition of Bayern, which is exactly what it was. Obviously, you could offer up the excuse that, yes, they played in the Super Cup earlier in the week. This was just a hangover, but it's got to be more to it, isn't there?
There is. For a start, Hoffenheim went with a back five and closed all the space that Schalke did not on the opening match day. I thought that was a very important tactical move. And also, when it came to their build-up play, I was at the game in March when Bayern thrashed them by 6-0. And back then, when Alfred Schreuder was the coach, you saw Hoffenheim still trying to play out from the back, which, with this Bayern side and the way they press, is a recipe for disaster. So what they were doing instead is they were happy to go long and wait for the second ball and see if they could play something on the counter-attack there. And that actually worked pretty well for them. I think they picked on also one of the very few weaknesses of Bayern, which is set pieces. We saw them struggle a little bit from them last season. Martin Hinteregger's double for Eintracht Frankfurt comes to mind in particular. But all in all, okay, Thomas Müller said that Bayern shouldn't be using tiredness as an excuse. He said that he still thought they had enough energy. But I think you do have to credit Hoffenheim and the fact that coach Sebastian Hoeneß, who was Bayern's second-team coach and won the third division with them last season, the fact that he had a year-long's worth of weekly conversations with Hansi Flick, perhaps that paid off in the end.
Well, let's just remind you the significance of this victory for Hoffenheim. Bayern coming into it in that 23-game winning streak, 32 matches unbeaten in all competitions. Their last loss was back in 2019 against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Steve, what do you think? Just a hangover, or as Archie suggests, maybe a couple of cracks there?
Well, it was going to happen eventually. After we see them go on such a stretch like that for 23 games, it's inevitable that you're going to lose one along the road. But I really have to say that Bayern Munich did not just lose this game. They came out with a good mentality. They didn't play poorly. They didn't show signs of fatigue. You really have to say Hoffenheim had an outstanding performance, both mentally, tactically, technically, and physically as well. It was the right recipe to play against this Bayern Munich defense. We saw some things from Bayern Munich that we've seen in the past. They are very successful to a counterattack. Their center backs with Alaba and Boateng aren't the fastest anymore. They're towards the end of their careers. And those three players up top, Baumgartner, Kramaric, and De Boer, found some really good spots underneath that and were very tough to handle. So I hope everybody watching on took their notes, and this is definitely a recipe on how to beat Bayern Munich.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.